All right, let's get into our instant reaction to UFC 317. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. That main event, man. Ilia does exactly what he said he would. And, to be honest with you guys, Ilia he's really that guy, man. He's got the striking to, just destroy everybody. It doesn't really matter. Max Holloway, great striker. Obviously more of a volume striker and everything, but still, either way, I mean, unless somebody can knock you out, even then, though, like Ilia beat Josh Emmett. Man, dude, Charles did test the grappling, and Ilia was able to stop that as well. So, man, it is just crazy out there right now. Ilia is really that good, and man, dude, I don't know who's going to beat him. I would love to see Arman fight, Paddy even. Both of those dudes are well-rounded. Paddy, he's a Scouser, he can't get knocked out. But I don't know. With the precision that Ilia hits people with, you're getting knocked out. So, and Charles, on the other hand, not good at all. Didn't look great. Looked like he could keep up with the speed. He did hit Ilia a couple times. Ilia is hittable, but the grappling looked bad, and even worse, the striking just, as soon as it got to that, it was exactly how everyone thought it would play out. And that's why Ilia was such a big favorite, and it makes sense, right? So, yeah, Ilia just really doing a great job here and going for an all-time status. I mean, this dude's only like 28, I think, so he could be an all-time great at this point, depending on who he fights and whatnot. So, yeah, Ilia Topuria. And then we moved on to Alexandre Pantoja, third-round submission, rear naked choke on Kai Kara-France. He just dominated Kai Kara-France. First round, big flurry within the first minute, but ends up getting the back like 30 seconds in and rides that out. Doesn't do a crazy amount of damage, which kind of whatever on that. But second round, Kai looked a little better. Striking was a little bit cleaner, able to stop the grappling so much, but Pantoja he's just better striker too. I love the way he ended a lot of his combos with that body kick. That was very fun, and I think that he fights longer than a lot of people expect. Kai, honestly, dude, he didn't look good at all, in my opinion, and yeah, it is what it is, but Kai Kara-France gets submitted in that third round. Pantoja just very quickly puts in the rear naked choke and chokes him out. So it's that easy. Then, onto our third fight here, we have none other than Joshua Van winning against Brandon Royval. Man, I thought that fight was the fight of the year. I really, really did. It was a fantastic fight. And those two, especially round 2, round 3, just brawled. They kept going, point down. And they did it, man. They did it. And obviously, I wish Royval would have tested the grappling a bit more. I think that would have been a better path to victory for him. But Van put on the pressure, didn't back away at all. And exactly like I said, I thought Van was going to put on a pace. They slowed down a little bit, not really a lot, but they slowed down a little bit. But yeah, huge, high volume fight, like I said it would be. And not knocking each other out, but hitting each other with great strikes. So yeah, that was fight of the year contender. Absolutely beautiful by Joshua Van and Brandon Royval. That knockdown at the end of the third round just solidified Van going up for the title there next against Pantoja. They had that face-off as well. That should be a fun fight. Yeah, Brandon Royval, on the other hand, man, no disrespect there at all. No, and really, even though he did lose to Van, who's ranked number 11, man, no one can fault him for that loss. That is a tough fight. And if you're going to entertain people like that, I mean, I'm fine with you losing 10, 15 straight if you're going to fight like that, man. So nothing lost by Royval, in my opinion there. He should still be that number 2 contender, basically. Maybe fight whoever wins between, I believe it's Amir Albazi and Tatsuro Taira again. Or it could be Urseg and I believe it's Alex Perez. I don't know, man. I don't know what they do with Royval, but we'll think about that later. For now, Van, great win. And moving on in the main card, we have Beneil Dariush winning that decision against Renato Moicano. And it was just a boring fight. First of all, third round, these dudes were gassed out, which I don't understand because, like, these guys are pretty highly ranked fighters, right? So I don't get that how they're gassing out and everything so much, but besides the point. Round one, Beneil basically won that round, but Renato Moicano got a huge knockdown there, which crazy because I've never seen Moicano have any form of striking at all, but I guess it is what it is. Beneil blasting the kicks. I really like that strategy. Really took a toll on Moicano there. And round 2 and 3 used the grappling. Beneil used the grappling, I should say. And just smushed Moicano in round 3. It was very low output, low level, and honestly, I know these dudes are ranked, but they showed they just aren't at that level. Certainly not challenging Ilia anytime soon, so yeah, it's a fun fight, but yeah, not my favorite there. And then on the main card for the opening act of the pay-per-view, you had Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima, and Peyton Talbot did exactly what people thought he couldn't do, which was learn how to grapple in 5 months. And in my opinion, it wasn't that great with the defense. He really used his balance and whatnot, but yeah, man, I mean, he rolled with a lot of stuff. He did a lot of unconventional things to keep himself on top, and Lima, man, he was winning a lot of striking battles, but by the end of that third round, Peyton Talbot had put too much pressure on him, backed him up on the fence and the cage, and then you saw Talbot having fun, and that's when you knew Lima just couldn't handle it anymore. Talbot's going in just brawling, and he loves that kind of style of fight as well. It's why he's a fan favorite, and it's nice to see a prospect such as Peyton Talbot reinvent himself a little bit. Obviously he's still a striker at his heart, but he really improved that grappling enough where it's like, hey man, he might actually be able to still be something. There's a little bit of a hype train there, and no real shade for Felipe Lima. He put on a good fight there. Just couldn't get the takedowns. I think he thought they were too important, and they weren't. His striking looked good. I mean, yeah, Lima, really good fighter, but just couldn't beat Talbot today, and that's just the way it is sometimes, right? So, yeah, I thought that was a great fight for the first fight of the night. And now we are on to the prelims, where Gregory Rodriguez knocks out Jack Hermansson in 1 round. And, man, that was brutal. That was a brutal knockout. And Jack Hermansson looked like he was out for a while. They kept giving updates on his health mid-pay-per-view, which, I mean, I guess you could do, but, like, focus on the fight that's happening, right? But whatever. Jack just out cold. He fought a fairly decent fight before that. I thought he was kind of sticking and moving and jabbing and getting out of the way of things. Didn't really attempt too many takedowns at all there, and Rodriguez pressured him back a lot and didn't really give him the opportunity. And then he hits him with the clean right hand and, follows up with the ground shot that really was brutal, but unnecessary a little bit. But it is fighting, so, it is what it is. But Rodriguez knocks out Hermansson round 1. And I think Rodriguez should continue to fight in the rankings and things like that. And Jack, man, you can't be out for so long. You got to start fighting more often, I think. But after a fight like this, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to hang it up. Maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, Gregory Rodriguez looked great in that one. And then we have Jose Delgado versus Haider Emil. I was out taking my dog for a walk, but I basically knew this was going to happen. Hyder Emil very much hyped up, but not that good of a striker in my opinion. And Delgado showed him there's levels to this. I can knock people out in 30 seconds, and that's what he did. A lot of people will say early stoppage, but you know what, man? I just don't believe that to be true. Jose Delgado really hit him cleanly, and Hyder Emil, yes, he's supposedly this great this great dude or great guy who has a great chin, but I don't know. I would have stopped it too, so not going to worry about that. But yeah, Delgado shows him there are levels to the striking, and Hyder Emil, man, tough loss to take. Now you're not undefeated anymore, so yeah, is what it is. And then we got the women's fight, Tracy Cortez decision. Yeah, I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But honestly, man, it's women's MMA. Who really cares that much? Tracy Cortez favorite wins. That's about how it always goes. Goes to decision. Yeah, nothing more to really say about that one. But our prelim opener of Terrence McKinney versus Borshev. That was a fun 1 minute, I should say, even fight. I told you Terrence McKinney could kind of take this to the ground and do what he wants in the first round, and proved to be right. He had this like north-south anaconda Darce type thing going on for a long time, but as soon as he got into that full mount, it was pretty much over when he got transitioned into a guillotine type position mounted there. And yeah, Borshev, I told you guys, he's just not good enough to beat somebody of Terrence McKinney's level, especially in that first round. So yeah. And then finally we have our early prelims, which is Jacoby Smith beating Nico Price via rear naked choke, second round. And I want to say disappointing performance by Jacoby Smith, but in reality, man, he really did beat Nico Price, I should say, pretty handily. First round, really just dominated him as expected. He just couldn't get him out of there, right? Nico Price is a crafty veteran, and he also pretty good off his back, right? Remember, people forget, but he has the up kick against James Vick knockout there. So he's good off his back. He's good enough to stay offensive and defensive at the same time in the grappling. And as soon as it went to striking, it didn't look awesome for Jacoby Smith. It looked all right. Obviously still very powerful, but he's hittable. And for a prospect, that makes me worried, especially as the biggest favorite I've seen this year at negative 2,100, right? So, I don't know, but he ends up getting the rear naked choke. Takes it back, does it pretty quickly against Nico Price, and yeah, Jacoby Smith, still a prospect, still growing, 11-0 in the not in the UFC, 11-0 in his MMA career, still growing. It's just tough when he's in a division like welterweight, we'll see what he can do, but not as high on him as I was earlier. Still great performance, but he has a frantic first round, and the second round it slows down a lot. So I worry that the cardio will be an issue there, but nonetheless, good fight. And then the opener of the early prelims and the UFC 317 pay-per-view was Jonathan Deniz versus Alvin Hines. And yes, Deniz won this fight. Good counter striking, good counter left hook throughout the entire fight. But Hines, man, he made it a dogfight. And I love it for him. I thought he'd be able to get the takedowns, but he couldn't. It is what it is. He kept pushing forward, and he was really, really doing great in that third round. I know the eye poke kind of made it worse, but the eye poke gave Deniz a minute to take a rest and get his breath back. But even after that, I thought Hines did a great job of putting on a pace onto him. And yeah, I know he kind of came in the UFC 18 days ago, or at least he signed the fight 18 days ago, but did a great job, especially against somebody like Hines, or not Hines, Denise, who is a kickboxer who has good takedown defense and whatnot. So, yeah, I'd like to see Hines still in the UFC if possible, but yeah, really, really, really good fight by both of these guys, and it was a little bit of a heavyweight slop, but I thought it was better than the usual heavyweights decision. So yeah, that's kind of my instant reaction to UFC 317, and if you guys liked it, please like the video. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.